Great. Thank you so much, Anya and Monty, for that. And I mean, when I look back to my time as a postgraduate student, I just see how valuable it was to have the right people around me who could guide me and support me, and to think through my Christian faith and how that related to my studies. So I think this is incredibly valuable work. And of course, we can all see that, right? I mean, this is not just for postgrads, this is for all of us. We need other people to support us in our faith and thinking through things at any stage, because we want to grow in our faith and we want to reach out as well. We want to reach out to other people. So please take this on board and encourage any postgrad students you know. When we think about the role of academics and how that might work in terms of evangelism, you might be sitting there thinking, well, this was great hearing all of the academics earlier, and we organize mission weeks, but how exactly might we slot an academic in, and what would happen? How would that work? What sort of talk might they give? How would it fit into the rest of the events that we're doing? And so what I'd like to do now is just to invite Katya from Moldova and also Piyush Jani, who visited Moldova back in April this year. And they're going to say a little bit just about how that all went. And just before we do that, I would like to give Piyush the opportunity just to introduce himself as an academic. Because he's up here now, he didn't quite have the opportunity to do that. So could you take just a moment to introduce yourself, Piyush?
Thank you. I thought I got away with that one. So I'm Piyush Jani. I work as a surgeon. I work in Cambridge, England. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ, but I wasn't always. I'm from a Hindu background. So I'm passionate about telling people about Jesus. So, you can invite me for whatever. So.
Yeah, thank you. And can you then just tell us about how this came about? So you were at Feuer previously, and you ended up going to take part in this mission week. So can you just tell us a little bit about how that came about and what you did when you were there?
So before I answer that question, can I say something else?
Sure.
One of the most encouraging things about this conference for me has been hearing reports from all the different countries. Christian work was never meant to be easy, but it's so encouraging that despite the difficulties, to see your faithfulness and your perseverance, and it's just so heartwarming, really. We as speakers come there for a week and disappear. You're there all the time throughout the year. And I just thank God for all of you and putting the gospel out into Europe. So that's so good. Thank you. So how did I get to Moldova? Well, my first conference in Feuer was last year, and I met a lady from Moldova, Doina, delightful lady, and I asked her, how did she come to know Christ? Because it's one of my favorite questions. I'd love to hear that story. And she told me her wonderful story, and she returned the favor, and she asked me, well, how did you get to know Christ? So I told her my story of how I was a Hindu, but now I'm a Christian. And immediately her eyes lit up. And she said, please come to Moldova. We have hundreds of Indian Hindu medical students in Moldova. So I said, okay. So I sent off my CV to the university and to the hospitals, and things were arranged. So I went in April. I was there for 3 days. And the format was such that I would, in the daytime, I would give talks and I would teach the doctors, the medical students, and the nurses. And in each of those talks, I would have a slide inviting them to the evening meal in a restaurant. In the restaurant, I would then give my testimony or give a talk about different religions and have a Q&A. And it was a great time. So over 3 days, we did 8 talks, 8 events, which is really busy, quite exhausting. But I just want to, again, end by saying I thank Doina and the team in Moldova, and they do a fantastic job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Piyush, and thank you. And Katja, then you were organizing this mission week. So can you tell us about that from your perspective and just how this all worked out and the fruits of this partnership?
Hi. 5 years ago, we tried to start international student ministry in our country, and it went well about 1 year, and after that, COVID started. And after COVID, it was hard to gather the team for international student ministry. And when Doina returned back from Feuer last time, she told, we have somebody who can help us to restart international student ministry. And she told about Piyush, she told his story. And at that cafe meeting, those cafe meetings were a topic about does all religions lead to one God? It was a testimony of Piyush, and a team who organized, who helped Doina, were our Moldovan students, and they naturally started like what we call evangelism through friendship with some of Indian students. And after we finished Mission Week, I asked him, did you enjoy it? Did you like to become friends with Indian students? They told yes. Would you like to start, to have an international group in our city, in our country? They told yes, sure. So 2 months ago, we restarted international student ministry in Moldova. We already had first cafe meeting. We have language clubs. And when I will return back home, so we will prepare for the second cafe meeting with international students, where will be Indian students too. So praise God, he used this opportunity in April during the mission week that we can serve those students again.
Just to say, as we all know, it's quite hard to get into India. But God in his kindness has brought India to Eastern Europe particularly. And there are hundreds of medical students in lots of different countries around Eastern Europe. And again, it's a great mission field for us. Thank you.